Welcome to the Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. Team Implivs. Each week we're here talking about the wrestling headlines and covering everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and keep up with wrestling news and our show. This is the Mayhem News Live Wrestling Broadcast, and I'm Team Implivs, a.k.a. the Man in Black. I do apologize for not being here last week. A little bit under the weather. I'm still kind of suffering those effects right now. So, I wanted to do a show today, kind of, a little different scenery behind me, and I want to go ahead and do a show and a lot of stuff. Kind of changed up the way the show works. I've been doing match by match on each show. Got to looking at the shows and felt they were too, maybe a little boring because I was going match to match. So we kind of changed up the way. We're going to hit the highlights. First, we're going to go to headlines. WWE legend and 2014 Hall of Fame inductee Jake the Snake Roberts has been diagnosed with a cancerous tumor behind his knee and will undergo surgery, emergency surgery, to remove it. This was according to TMZ and per Jake the Snake himself. Jake the Snake was quoted as saying, please pray for the children that are being attacked by this disease, because this Jake the Snake Roberts is going to be okay. Thought that was pretty respectful of him. Former TNA X Division champion TJ Perkins, or Manic, noted on his Ask FM account that he will be returning to action at TNA for the February 28th live event in Columbia, South Carolina. Manic's been off TNA since right after last year's Bound for Glory pay-per-view. So we're going to look what's going on there. WWE Incorporated is seeking a new home for its Raw and SmackDown shows, is failing to renew an agreement with the air the programs on Comcast. Let's see, was it Comcast Corp, USA, and Sci-Fi Cable Networks. So they're looking for a new place, which probably has TNA extremely nervous. Because TNA's crowds are so small, they often have to write a check to the arena to get out of as opposed to doing what everyone else does, which is the arena gets the cut out of the final settlement. Apparently last December, when TNA ran at Temple University, they ended up having to write a $15,000 check just to cover the use of the arena, because they had so little fans show up, they didn't even make enough to cover the arena cost. Looking bad. UFC champion Ronda Rousey said that she likes The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, and that she likes him more than CM Punk. A lot of people saying that is making her unpopular. I say it's a matter of opinion. And hold on just a minute. I say it's a matter of opinion, and Seth says hello, by the way. So I don't know. Mark Henry has claimed that once his current contract is up in 2016, he will retire from professional wrestling. A little bit, I think it's going to be soon after WrestleMania 32. He says he does want to work backstage to help train the young folks as they come up. So maybe Mark Henry is thinking of the future. He's had a lot of injuries here lately. Maybe they've took their toll. And maybe he's decided that he wants to be able to walk and not have to, suffer some pain that could come later on if he wrestles any further. Impact Wrestling averaged 1.093 million viewers. The audience was down a whopping 23% from last week's episode, which garnered a 1.42 million viewers. According to PW Torch, the final rating of the show was 0.95, which was down 20% from last week's 1.18. Yeah, ratings are really hitting them hard, which is really going to get them if WWE tries to look for a new home for Raw and SmackDown. We're going to start. This is the new format. We're going to cover highlights of each show. We're going to start out with Impact Wrestling. Impact Wrestling for Tuesday, February 20th was taped in Manchester, England. Never mind. But I see Gunner cashes in his world title briefcase for a match against Magnus. Basically, the show goes on. Samoa Joe and Zema Iron had and the Bromans with a 3-on-1 handicap, and Samoa Joe actually was a beast and took out all 3 men. This is raising his stock a little bit, getting ready to show that he's a threat for the TNA World Title. So, which I like Samoa Joe. Dixie Carter offers Bobby Roode 10% of TNA if he will captain her team at Lockdown against Team MVP. He accepts. The Wolves decimated Kazarian and Daniels, which we kind of figured they would. Magnus defeated Gunner in the main event with world title, basically because James Storm has went total heel again, turned on Gunner, and basically cost him the match. Moving on to SmackDown. As I said, this is going to be a quick show because I've been kind of under the weather, just a reminder. But I wanted to put a show out there because I didn't do one last week. Had some stuff going on, some top secret stuff for the show. Can't tell you about. Sorry. You're just going to have to wait. Moving on to SmackDown, the show opens up with Daniel Bryan defeating Jack Swagger, which is really, I don't know. It's kind of funny that he was doing that with Swagger actually challenging for the Intercontinental Champion, but, I mean, it is Daniel Bryan. Kane and Vicky Guerrero teamed up to put Bryan in another match right after against Cesaro, which he defeated Cesaro as well. Basically because Kane came in and hit the choke slam, causing a DQ. It's going to be fun. The Wyatt family defeated the Rose Brothers and Rey Mysterio in a strong 6-man tag. They pretty much put the heels over for the pay-per-view. And they did this another dance off. I only mention it because there's a word for it. It's called irritating. Dolph Ziggler defeats Titus O'Neil thanks to a distraction by Darian Young, who was at the commentary. Jimmy Uso defeated Road Dogg in a singles match, giving the Usos a clean win over the New Age Outlaws. Sheamus defeats Christian in a long match. Went over okay, but certainly didn't tear the house down. White Noise apparently gets the pin, which, I thought was pretty cool. The Elimination Chamber, I'll be honest, I didn't get the pay-per-view. Some ways I wish I had, some ways I wish I didn't. I would have wished I hadn't. Basically, Randy Orton defeats John Cena and Sheamus pretty much because there was interference. Daniel Bryan, they pretty much beat, Randy Orton was on top pretty much because there was a little bit of interference. The Wyatt family defeats the Shield. Batista defeats Alberto Rio, which was no surprise there. Big E defeats Jack Swagger. New Age Outlaws defeats the Usos. Now, that was actually a surprise there. I think they should have let the Usos go ahead and win the title, but maybe they're saving it for WrestleMania. The Usos and Rikishi, I hope, probably wishes that's open there. What they're doing anyway. Titus O'Neil defeated Darren Young, and the Rhodes Brothers defeated Ryback and Axel. I'm not going to say their little pet name for them, Rybaxel. I'm sorry. Oops, said it. Damn it. Anyway, Raw, Hogan returns, and I'm giving Hogan a lot of crap over the years. Mainly because Hogan should have never left the WWE. He should have stayed where he was. That's where he made himself. That's where he should have been. All that crap, he went over there. He went over there to TNA, and, all the stuff that was going on outside wrestling ring and outside, away from wrestling was really, really terrible. Alberto defeats Batista thanks to an assist from Orton, who had walked out and pretty much distracted the big guy. So, hey, Big E defeats Cesaro by a DQ from Swagger, which he actually told Cesaro he was trying to help him. I don't understand that. He jumped in and put an ankle lock in the middle of the match. Sorry. Seth. Thank you. My son. Anyway. Daniel Bryan challenges Triple H at WrestleMania 30. Well, we didn't see that coming. Usos defeat New Age Outlaws in a decimating win. High flying, even did the crotch chop in midair. It was excellent. Taker returns, is probably the best part of Raw. Taker comes back, pretty much looks over Brock Lesnar's shoulder at the WrestleMania sign. Brock Lesnar pops off about him getting, pretty much, getting what he wants, tells him to sign the contract, slams his hand down on the contract and gets a pin stuck in it, which, ouch. And then gets chokeslammed through a table. It was good to see The Undertaker come back as a badass. Actually, it would probably been better if I saw him ride in on a motorcycle, but that's wishful thinking. It was actually a pretty good Raw, pretty good wrestling week. I hate I missed last week. I hate the fact that we lost Big V, Viscera, and everything. But, sorry, I'm trying to talk to my son and do this too. I hate we lost Viscera. Big V's been around. Me and my wife got to reading some of his family history, who he was kin to, and you learn things on the internet, and everything. And we wish his family and his friends send our deepest apologies and regrets and prayers. Also, I want to congratulate The Miz and his wife, who Miz recently got married. And if I'm ever stuck in a glass house, I want to borrow her ring, because you could cut your way out of there anywhere. But like I said, a lot of stuff fixing to be going on in the show over the next 5 months, and I just want to let everybody know that I'm still here. I'm still doing the show. I was just really, really sick last week. I got bad sinuses, and my voice was gone. I mean, it would have looked like this. You'd have thought it was some martial art movies from the 60s. So, this has been the Man in Black, and this has been the Mayhem News Live Wrestling broadcast. Again, I apologize for it being so short. I will say something to some of my sponsors and mention them. ZachPack Promotions.com. You can go there and look at their stuff. They're a non-profit organization. You can also look up Fight Disability Slurs WordPress.net, WordPress.com. Excuse me. That is something me and my wife are doing, and we are trying to stop disability slurs, or slurs of any kind. Be frankly honest, and we're trying to do that. And then I want to thank Throttle. The music that you hear at the start of this show and the end of this show, Throttle is a band. They're awesome. They kick ass. They gave us our theme song, New Blood. They have other stuff on Amazon and iTunes. You can just search them. That's capital THRODL. You can just search them, and there they are. They have singles and albums available. So check them out. I want to send a shout out to Blast 52, and they're an awesome Irish band. You can look at our Facebook page, and I also have a graphic at the end of the show that tells you all their stuff. And I want to thank Girls with Big Guns Clan. They're a Call of Duty clan on PS3 and Xbox, and I want to thank them and thank everybody watching the show. That's been the show for today. I appreciate it, and I'm really sorry I did not do a show last week. But I will catch y'all next week. We'll be back here Tuesday from now on. Thank you. Welcome to the Mayhem News Live Wrestling broadcast with your host, the Man in Black, a.k.a. Team Imp Lives. Each week we're here talking about the wrestling headlines and covering everything from Impact Wrestling to SmackDown. Join us each Tuesday via MayhemNews.com and the Mayhem News Live YouTube channel. You can subscribe to both and keep up with wrestling news and our show.